If you're being bullied right now, or if you've ever been bullied for no reason, you may not even realize how much potential is hidden inside you. Many world-famous people were bullied too, but they turned that pain into fuel for their success, and we can do exactly the same. If you're currently being bullied at school, university, or at work, it doesn't matter where, if you feel like you don't fit in anywhere, if you're lonely, and you're constantly trying to please people while losing yourself and having no personal boundaries, this video is exactly what you need right now. I've become more confident. I no longer depend on people's approval. I don't chase anyone. I don't surround myself with just anyone. And I don't give people a second chance anymore. Every single day I work on myself and on my goals. How can you alchemize the pain that someone caused you and turn it into fuel for your success? If that's what you want too, then this video is 100% for you. As a child, I was very outgoing and, to some extent, a confident kid. I often stood up for people who were weaker than me. Whenever I saw someone being bullied, I defended them. I had a good childhood. Everything was great. At school, I talked to my classmates, although not with everyone. I had a few close friends, and right now I'm talking about elementary school. When I was in the 3rd grade, a new boy joined our class. His mother worked at my school as an elementary school teacher. That boy was completely ill-mannered. Honestly, before he came, we had never had anyone like him in our class. He was extremely hyperactive. Remember how rude he was and how disrespectfully he treated many of us. But as I said before, ever since I was little, I had been a confident girl who could stand up for herself. I never accepted disrespect from anyone. So whenever he treated me disrespectfully, I answered back. While many people stayed silent and tolerated his behavior, I didn't. And because of that, you could say I hurt his little ego. Moved on to middle school, we were no longer under the same level of supervision. We had a different teacher, and they felt much freer because there wasn't as much control anymore. And that was the year when my nightmare began. During 3rd and 4th grade, it had mostly been jokes and teasing from that boy, which was already unacceptable. But in 5th grade, everything became much more serious, and it affected me deeply for the rest of my years at that school. From that year on, I always sat alone. Whenever we had lessons, no one ever sat with me. At that time, I had one friend whom I had been closest to since elementary school, and she was the only person I talked to. But then she became friends with another girl, and I kind of joined them too. Looking back now, I was the 3rd wheel. Even back then, but I ignored my intuition because I didn't want to be completely alone. Eventually, I stopped talking to them and spent most of my time by myself. Those 2 boys bullied me so much. Yes, they picked on other people too, but not nearly as much as they did me. The others either accepted the disrespect or they still had each other. I was by myself. I, however, always stood up for myself whenever they bullied me. Just imagine being bullied every single day, being humiliated in front of the whole class, while no one stands up for you, even though you've done nothing wrong. You're just a child whose mind is still developing. No matter how strong you are, something like that affects you deeply and leaves a huge emotional scar. I was alone. I didn't even have a phone until several grades later. I felt incredibly lonely. Sometimes I mentioned what I was going through at school. I was actually a little ashamed to talk about being bullied. There were times when I ignored everything and didn't respond. There were times when I laughed at the jokes they made about me. I tried many different things. I even tried sitting with different girls and talking to them. It didn't matter who they were. I just wanted to have someone. Toward the end of middle school, I started talking again to a girl I had been close to in elementary school. We mostly talked about our exams, and I often helped her for her. But I want to make a disclaimer. A year before that, I came to school and saw that someone was already sitting at my desk, and I had nowhere to sit, and I genuinely didn't know where to go, so I stayed there. Then one day she had a tantrum and started shouting in front of the entire class that she didn't want to sit with me. Another girl came and sat with her, while finally I found another seat for me. I sat there for a long time. Eventually, we started talking again, but now I would never accept that kind of disrespect toward myself. Back then, however, I simply wanted someone to talk to so I wouldn't be alone. I didn't even care whether that person truly respected me or not. We started talking again. Sometimes I sat with her, and eventually I always sat with her. We became very close. During the last 2 years of school, I changed a lot. I no longer desperately needed to be around people. I had my own boundaries, and I had become a very confident person. Still friends at that time, but despite that, I constantly felt anxious whenever I was around her. My intuition kept telling me to leave. In my final year of school, I was incredibly confident, had strong boundaries, a healthy mindset, and I was no longer afraid of being alone. I had changed so much for the better. But even though I was still talking to this girl, I still felt uncomfortable whenever I was with her. So I prayed to God and asked him to give me a sign. I asked him that no matter how difficult it would be, if he showed me that sign, I would walk away. About 2 weeks passed. The day before everything happened, I was certain that she was going to do exactly what my intuition had been warning me about. And that's exactly what happened. Everything happened just the way I had imagined it would. No matter what happens, I walked away and stopped talking to her. I told her directly, "You betrayed me. I knew you were capable of doing that, and you did it." God showed me that my intuition had never lied to me. You need to listen to your intuition because in my experience, it won't lie to you in 99% of situations. If you want to watch my video about intuition, I'll leave the link to it in the description below. The first lesson I learned was this: don't listen to people's words, watch their actions. Words mean nothing. That girl constantly told me how much she loved me, how I was the best, and how much she missed me, but I could clearly see that her actions didn't match her words. When someone's words and actions don't match, don't listen to empty promises. Watch how they actually treat you. The second lesson I learned from going through bullying is this: never show yourself as insecure. During my final year of school, I was very confident. When people wanted me to feel bad because of their bullying or hurtful words, I never showed them that their words affected me. Bullies desperately want to hurt you. They want to make you feel afraid, embarrassed, or weak. But if you continue to carry yourself with confidence despite everything, they'll become even more frustrated and try even harder to get a reaction from you. No matter what happens, don't show them that you're insecure. During my final year of school, I was very confident. When people wanted me to feel bad because of their bullying or hurtful words, I never showed them that their words affected me. You know what's interesting? Even though I was bullied, none of them ever dared to bully me when they were alone. The third lesson is that they crave your attention. There are times when you should stand up for yourself and put someone in their place. But when something isn't worth your energy, simply ignore it. Sometimes ignoring someone is the strongest weapon. The fourth lesson: love yourself. Whatever you're going through or whatever you've already been through, you should never hate yourself because of other people's actions. On the contrary, you're incredibly strong for surviving it. The fifth lesson: no one's words or actions define your worth. You are the only person who decides who you are. Sixth lesson: don't keep giving people second chances. People rarely change. You've already said, "Please don't do that again," and they ignore your boundaries the first time. It's okay to leave. Don't keep explaining on yourself. Don't keep making excuses. You can choose to give one more chance. But if nothing changes after that, then the answer is already obvious. People who bully others are often deeply insecure themselves. That is a fact. They try to hurt someone else so they can feel better about themselves and make another person suffer. If you're being bullied, remember this: sometimes people see something in you that you don't even see in yourself. It could be your appearance, your energy, your confidence, your potential, or something else entirely. Find that quality within yourself and alchemize a fuel for achieving your goals. Many people transform their pain into strength. Take musicians, for example. When they're heartbroken, angry, or hurting, they helps millions of people. One example is Michael Jackson's song, "They Don't Care About Us." And finally, keep working. Keep moving toward your goals no matter what. People change very quickly. If you're carrying pain, injustice, or resentment inside you, let your greatest revenge be building your dream life. People who hurt others because they're unhappy with their own lives will remain exactly where they are. Remember to be kind to yourself today. You are truly capable of amazing things. That's all. I hope this video helped you.